Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. As you see by the title, it says, New is the best on men, because it's talking about pussy, of course. We become so lustful, you know, and it's a never ending cycle because if the best is always the new, then you're constantly gonna keep looking for more, newer, different experiences, different woman, different vibe. You're gonna have a lot of fun. More likely gonna have a lot of fun because based on how the society is in terms of men, right? And for people that don't really understand what that title necessarily means, if you really think about it, right? For something to be the best and new, I mean it has to constantly be new. Because once that new thing become old, then it's not the best anymore. It's old. So you have to for you to constantly keep experiencing the best, you have to keep getting something that's new. You feel me? So I feel like that's why a lot of us, a man has sex with a lot of partners, it's okay, but if a woman does it, she's a whore, you know? So with that being said, they're also being praised, they're having a lot of fun. In their eyes, it's a win-win situation. Wrong. Because if you think about it, right, you're constantly gonna have, basically, you're gonna be insatiable. You're gonna always want to find something new. And when it really comes down to it, if you do decide that you want to settle down, it might be very difficult for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be, depending on who the person is, but it might be very difficult for you. And the reason why I say this, right, is because think about it, right? Just think about it. If you constantly keep going to try to find someone new, right, and then you're having all these different experiences, experiencing all these different types of women, you don't came across all types of women, right? All types, various shapes, sizes, ethnic background, personalities, all these type of things. But when it comes to settling down, since you've already exposed yourself to such a wide variety of women, when it comes to settling down, you're gonna try to subconsciously and probably consciously find the best out of all of them. It's like basically you're gonna be trying subconsciously at least to basically find or build your own perfect woman. You're like, oh, I want her to have qualities of this woman. I want her hair to look like that. I need that ass to look like that though. Body like that. Talk to me like this. Speaks this type of language. Come from this place. I'm not saying you can't obtain that. Whatever you want in this world, you can most definitely have. But it's just a matter of coming down to realism, being realistic. And what's really out there. And what's really best for you, And it's going to be very hard to satisfy your needs, most likely. Because you already experienced it. You already experienced a wide variety, vast amount of women. So you're going to basically be doing your whole little Build-A-Bear. What's a real ish? No cap. You feel me? And I wouldn't just say I was on the same boat as them, but I was definitely indulging a little bit, put my foot in the water, maybe a knee, maybe a thigh, you feel me? But all in all, I really had to just sit down and really think about the never-ending cycle. Like, the type of person I am, right? I am very, and I'm talking about extremely empathetic. Like, I'm an empath, you feel me? So I generally know how people feel, right? And I can see how they feel, and I can feel how they feel, especially when it's towards me. So, and the type of person I am is that I don't really just do it for sex, you feel me? When I was, mingling, whatever, I don't really do it for sex because I like to also know what's in that person's mind. It is so fun to basically know what's. Give me a second, bro. I'm about to stop licking my damn lips. Sponsor me. Word. Forgive that intrusion. Like I was saying. Where was I? But like I said, I have a deep understanding, and of me being an empath, for me having emotional intelligence, I know, and I have a deeper understanding than most people, or an average person, in terms of how a woman can feel, or how a woman feels, because of how they express themselves and just the way they look at me, the way they speak, how they treat me compared to other people. Like, it is a completely different thing when a woman literally sees you befitting of someone that can lead, and she basically reveals, or I could say expose her divine femininity, right? Like, it's completely different. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's probably one of the most, if not the most beautiful feature of a woman. Like, when she really shows you her divine femininity, I am telling you, bro, it is like a drug. Because not many people can see that side of a woman. It takes a specific man to bring that out. You hear me? Like, did I pull in too much comics? Like a damn reflection. But anyways, it takes a certain type of man to bring that out of her. You feel me? And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not doing this to toot my own horn. I'm just blatantly say what it is. I've been able to basically bring out the divine femininity in a good amount of women. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, a fair amount. When I say good amount, don't be out here thinking like I be out here hoeing. You feel me? Don't do that. But a fair amount. You feel me? Like, I was able to honestly, I talk to them. They get to understand me, the way I think. They see my behavior and how I treat them. You feel me? Because the thing about me, I never classify myself as someone be like, oh, I'm a player. Some people be moving like a player. For me, the most I could classify myself as is a Casanova. You feel me? Because a Casanova is someone that takes care of his woman, right? Like some LL Cool J thing type is. I think that's what he was doing. I'm not really sure. Forget that example. But I like to take care of my woman. If I'm talking to multiple women, I like to take care of them. Take care of all of them. Make sure they're good. Tend to their needs, emotional needs, everything. Is it exhausting? Yes. So I stopped doing that. But anyways, like I was saying, I like to tend to their needs and take care of them. You feel me? So, and I like to do it. And honestly, the ones that I've really built and I had that divine femininity, like, have them show that divine femininity, that word is butchering me right now. But the ones that I spoke to, right, let me slow down a little bit. The ones that I spoke to and they expressed their divine femininity towards me is usually when I'm having just a one-on-one. Like, it's just me and then I'm talking to them, right? We just have our talking stage or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that I just don't like the process where it's like I'm talking to somebody, I get to know them, I get into their mind, I understand, we get so close. And then, I'm not gonna lie, I tell them from the beginning, from the get-go, I'm like, yo, I don't want a relationship. You feel me? I don't want a relationship, and I'm just being honest. I'm like, I'm gonna talk to other people most likely, and you can talk to other people. Because I don't think it's fair how someone can be like, oh, I don't think it's fair how some men would be like, oh, I'm gonna talk to other women, but you can't talk to nobody else. That's just not fair. You feel me? I feel like if I went to other people, then I'm like, you have all the right, and you're definitely able to talk to somebody else. Because I'm trying to let them know, like, really strictly, and let them know, like, I'm not trying to settle down. You feel me? The age that I was, I'm like, bro, I'm not ready for all that yet. And I feel like a lot of people just want to get into a relationship just to get into a relationship. I think relationships are very serious. It's not something you just get into for fun because you know how it could be, because you love how I would take care of you, or you have me all to yourself. No. Negative. Relationship is very serious. If I'm dating to date you forever. I want to be with you forever. You feel me? And I need to be able to see myself with you forever. And if I don't, it's not happening. I feel like a lot of people put themselves in situations and relationships where they're not happy. Like, why are you doing that to yourself? Just so further down the line you can have regrets, or you're going to end up cheating? Why? Why not just wait for the one that's for you? Why settle? Listen, I'm picky. You feel me? I'm picky. And I know what's meant for me will come to me, and it will stay with me. Feel me? That's what I gotta say. I just got off topic. Let me see if I can remember what I said. I don't know the whole premise I was talking about. Anyways, like I was saying, right, and I'm just talking to them, I'm vibing that we get to know each other, right? And I let them know I don't want a relationship. I don't. And I tell them, and they will understand. Some of them will understand, but okay, I get that. And then some of them be like, okay, since you don't wish it, then I'm just not gonna entertain this. But then they end up coming back, and they end up saying, yeah, I can do it. Why not? And then when they say that, what happens? Things progress, right? And I guess in a way it's like I'm enabling them, but at the same time it's like, is it really necessarily enabling if I told you from the get-go like I don't want anything, you know? And it's like at the same time I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be very kind to you, you know, and loving, and I'm gonna show you love and stuff like that. You feel me? And I'm only gonna do what you're willing to do, because from the get-go I told you what I don't want. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I already told you what I don't want. So if you come now and tell me you in a relationship, I already told you from the get-go, it's like, what happened? And also, throughout the process, you're gonna have to be the person to kind of set the boundaries, because I already told you what I don't want. So you have to tell me, you know, you have to show what you're not willing to give, because I'm not able to give you what you desire. And that's A-okay. So I'm gonna go along with like anything. But they be wanting to talk about some, oh, let's go on dates, this and the third. I'm like, we can do that, and I do it. But it's like, I feel like the women don't realize, or they do, they just don't care now. They probably care like a little later on as it progresses, and it's a little too late. But it's like these things are gonna have you build, you know, you're gonna have built up emotions. You're gonna catch feelings if you haven't caught it before. And I'll be warning them. I do. But what I'm trying to get at here, I'm not even sitting here trying to spill my whole romantic life. Trust me, y'all don't know everything. Don't take what I say as everything. I just know a portion. Okay? I'm not a bad guy. You feel me? I'm not. I promise. Anyways, like I was saying, it's just gonna be a never-ending cycle of just talk to somebody new and then getting to know them, right? But especially if you don't want a relationship with them and they have to break it off. And me being an empath that's a very painful process, because at the end of the day, before, like I said, I don't just do it just for sex, right? I do it because I want to get to know the person, regardless of what type of relationship or situationship we have. I want to understand you, and I want to get to know you. I want to know what's in your mind, how you think. You know, what's your life like? You know, and then come together and share experiences, and then also even, you know, teach each other things. You know, like I feel like this should be the basis for any type of relationship, even if it's a friendship. That's how I am. You feel me? So, with that being said, having to lose somebody because of how things progress, and they don't feel like they can, you know, be around me anymore because of, you know, too much feelings got caught, and, you know, things just a little bit more on the heavier side now, and then they can't downplay their emotions anymore. It's a bit much to kind of just restart that cycle over and over, you know? It's kind of a bit much. So that's why I say is like, I don't really understand how men can really go through that process over and over. But that's because they probably just go for sex, you know? But for me, I can't. And I saw the whole thing, like I said, new pussy is always the best pussy. But it's going to be a never-ending cycle, because you're always going to keep looking for a new one and a new one and a new one, and you're going to be insatiable. And honestly, it's not that good to be, well, it's not good overall to just be having sex with all this different types of women and plenty of women, because women and people say sexual intercourse is an energy transfer. Sexual intercourse is an energy transfer, you know? So you're transferring energy, and whatever that person have going on in their lives, or whatever skeletons in their closets and the demons they got, all that stuff, it transfers to you. So you really have to be careful who you're really mixing fluids with. You just gotta be careful. It's gonna be a never-ending cycle, people. I'm getting off topic. Every time I have to put a freaking title, I feel like I just be talking about everything else, and I just gonna have to just, I guess watch this for entertainment purposes. Who knows? You feel me? I might tell you little things here and there, some gems here and there, some life experiences here and there. But hopefully we get back to the main point. You know what I'm trying to say? Hopefully we're getting back to the main point. I hope. Just be a little bit more mindful, my fellow men out there, especially my fellow black men out there. Forget the black part. My fellow melanated kings out there. Just be mindful. You can keep chasing, keep going after them, but when it's time to settle down, do keep in mind you're gonna turn to a little of a perfectionist, because you want her to be a mixture or better than everything that you ever had, and that's a lot of pressure on her. It is, and it's unrealistic. Love her for her, But I want to say this to everybody. Everybody, stop getting into relationships that you know you're not going to be happy in. Example number one, I've been saying this since probably middle school or beginning of high school. Right now I'm 24, about to be 25, right? I've been saying this from freaking middle school, almost high school, almost in like the beginning of high school. From this how long ago, right? If you a nigga, if you a man, a nigga, whatever, that prefer to be with a woman with an ass on her, why are you gonna go date a skinny woman, a skinny female, a skinny woman, so you can just be outside and stare at other women with asses because you know that's what you prefer? Why? Why do it to yourself? Why do it to her? You know what you prefer. You know you have a preference. Go for your preference. It might be very hard for you to get your preference, but don't be with somebody knowing that they're not your preference. That's settling. I know people want to be in a relationship and they want to settle down and stuff like that. And like I said, and it's not, and this is just a small example, right? If you love the person, be with them, because it's not all about body. It's not all about body. Come on, not that people. I'm not superficial. At least not that superficial. Just an example. But the main point I'm getting at here is that if you prefer a certain type of person to be with, whether it be traits, looks, mindset, behavior, their beliefs, whatever it is you prefer, and something that you generally prefer, like it's a genuine preference, because it's good to be open-minded, you feel me? But be honest with yourself. That's one. And don't waste nobody's time. Two. But if you have a preference, and a strong preference that you know that will never change, please, I beg you, please, go towards it. What are we doing? What are we doing? I use that example because it's a prime example, because if you prefer a woman with a nice body, a nice shape, and you're gonna date somebody that doesn't really fit that description, and now you are here looking at other women, now you are here building up lust for what's out there because you finally get a chance to grasp what you actually want, you're just wasting time and you're hurting people. You are. If you'd have been honest with yourself from the beginning, I should show the tattoo, right? I feel like the tie with the white tee with the, let me chill out though, they're doing too much. I don't want to do it to them. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, right, do not settle if you know it's not for you. Yes, it might take some time. It might take some time to get somebody to walk around with a good gracious ass bodacious. You feel me? But wait on it. And for the women out there, because it's not just about the men. I just use that example because I know they're going to understand. And for the women out there, please. I mean, women I feel like is more accepting, but they be. I feel like some women settle because they've tried certain things. Like, oh, I used to like good-looking men a lot. Like I've heard this story too many damn times. women from middle school, high school, you know, they're good looking enough, so they get good looking men. They be like, oh, the good looking men be a-holes, da 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 da. So I don't go for them no more. I go for, you know, try a different type of men. And this and third, could have a better heart. And I get that. I do. But it still applies to women too. It do. If you prefer, for women, it's not more so looks. It's more so the mind. It's more so the mental of the man. If you prefer, and listen, this is a top pick. Should I put it in this video? Yes, I am, because it's fresh. The woman, if you know damn well you prefer a man that's, you feel me? Like a man that will really take charge. A man that will really put you in your place. A man that will tell you, be quiet. You feel me? A man that can really talk to you sternly and still get you wet. You feel me? If you know damn well that is what you prefer, then man, please go for that. And listen, hear me out, people. I'm not saying don't take what comes to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't try things out there. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when it comes to settling down, you're being with this person for the rest of your life. Please be with someone you can wake up next to and have a smile on your face regardless. Have someone that take care of you. Have someone that loves you. Have someone that you can look at and be like, oh my God, that's my man, that's my woman. Because it makes no goddamn sense we out here in relationships unhappy. You made this decision. You did not have to be with this person. And yes, I do understand people do end up changing. Because people can put on the front. Now, this is where I would say use a discernment, you know? This is why I say don't be too quick, don't be too rash. I feel like before you date somebody, you need to see them in all forms. You need to see them happy, sad, upset, scared, angry, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely just furious. And most of all, hopefully towards you. You need to see how they are towards you when they are in this state of being, when they have these emotions, you know, present. You need to see them in these states because you have a better understanding of this person and who they really are on all the layers towards you before you decide you're going to settle down with this person and lay in the bed with them. Like, come on, bro. Have some common sense, people. You're going to be with a woman that's out there just disrespecting you in front of your friends? You're going to be with a man that's out here talking to you crazy and not respecting you and not loving you and not doing the little things or not being thoughtful? And like I said, nobody's perfect and you can teach these things, but at least be with someone that you know that's able to be taught. Not just be taught, but someone that's actually willing to try, you know? Because that's the key component. As human beings, we're constantly changing. You feel me? We're growing. You get what I'm trying to say? But at least be with someone that's willing to try. That's the main important thing. Some people are not willing to try. And that's just be the problem. You see what I be talking about when I said I be getting off topic? The title says one thing. We just talked about 4 different things, probably 5. I feel like my video is going to be like a little gold mine, a little mystery box. You open it, oh yeah, he's talking about this. Nope. We're talking about 6 different things in here, my brother. I just talk about what comes to mind. I feel good about it. You feel me? Feeling good, looking good.
Why do you think that is?
I smell good. I feel good.
Yo, like I'm saying, fam, this YouTube thing is actually fun. I'm having fun with this. I'm gonna keep posting, you know, whoever sees this video. Thank you. If you reach this far, I'm impressed. Highly impressed. Maybe not so impressed because this one's a little interesting, but I'm still highly impressed. You feel me? I'm still highly impressed. So thank you for watching my video. You feel me? Much love to you, your family, everybody, your loved ones, even if they're not family. I hope everyone's doing great. I hope you're great. You feel me? I know the life is, it ain't easy out there, but life is all about perspective, you know? Life is meaningless. You give it meaning. So your life, believe it or not, and it might sound unrealistic to you, but it's literally what you make it. Regardless of the situation that you're in, you can make your life what you make it. Practice gratuity. Be grateful for things. Be grateful. Just practice being grateful for the things that you have that you usually overlook. It could be your damn toothbrush being clean, your water is on, your lights work, your phone is not broken. Think about it, you know? Just practice gratuity. Life can be hard, but it can be harder. You know, just be strong. You know you're strong. You know, we're all on earth because we're very strong beings. You know, so just keep doing your thing, keep pushing forward, and you'll be great. You'll be great. Listen, as long as you tell yourself you're great, you'll be great. If you tell yourself you don't got it, or you won't be great, or you can't do it anymore, then you can't. Whatever you say is true. Literally. Think about it. Act on it. Whatever you say is true. So you decide what's true. If you decide that you can't do it and you're only good for a certain amount of things, or you're limited in a certain way, then that's true. Because you said so. Now, if you say you aren't, excuse me, then you're not. But anyways, I'm done ranting. Have a great day, my peoples. Hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said, I'm impressed that you stayed this long. So have a good one. And thank you.